So, very good morning students. So, we are discussing processor management. You know very well that operating system is a system software acting as an interface between computer hardware and computer user. Okay. So, when a user wants to execute any program, operating system going to act as a resource manager to allocate the required resources for the better execution of the user program. Okay. So, the basic resources are microprocessor, hard disk space, yeah, IO devices, this and all. So, when a program is in execution, these devices must be allocated, then only the execution can be come to success. So that operating system acting as a resource manager, and it control the resources for in allocation of allocation to all user program. Okay. Actually, you know very well that multi-programming. So, multi-programming means more than one program in the state of execution. So, in the state of execution there are so much of jobs. So, when all the programs is in execution, all the programs having some resources, that is shareable resources as well as non-shareable resources. You know very well that shareable resources can be shared by multiple programs, but non-shareable devices time basis. Now, the non-shareable device, that is microprocessor, is utilized by one program, then it is going to be utilized by another program in the next time interval. So, non-shareable devices are shared on time basis. Okay. So, now we are discussing processor management, isn't it? So, processor is a non-shareable device for executing all the programs. Processor have to execute the instructions. Okay. So, operating system going to allocate a microprocessor, the non-shareable device, to demanding programs according to the allocation algorithms. Okay. So, that are called processor allocation algorithms. So, the processor allocation algorithms are classified into two, preemptive and non-preemptive. So, what do you mean preemptive? When a program is in execution, due to the policy of the algorithm, it may emptified, it may be interrupted, it may be closed before its execution. This is called a preemption. Okay. So, based on the preemption, there are some algorithms. So, there are some non-preemptive algorithms. So, the non-preemptive algorithms are first come, first served, shortest job first, priority. These are all non-preemptive algorithms. So, in first come, first served, shortest job first, and priority, once a job is selected for execution, will not going to be disturbed by any program or resources at any time till its execution come to terminate. Okay, this is called a non-preemptive. So, preemption means in execution, due to the policy of algorithm, it may be suspended. Okay. So, based on this shortest remain time algorithm. shortest remain time algorithm. So now we are going to discuss the shortest remain time algorithm. So in the previous classes we discussed first come first served, priority and shortest job first. Okay, so even though it is must to revise. So now we are going to discuss shortest job next. Even this is called shortest job next. It is also known as shortest job first. Okay, so among the workload, which job entered first going to be selected first for execution. So this is the principle of shortest job first. So I told already it is a non-preemptive algorithm. Next, so till its execution time, it will not going to be interrupted or interfered. So for your understanding, so here there are 3 jobs, there are 5. So job B entered first, so it going to be executed first, then D, then A, C. Okay, so actually what we learned from this, so among these 4 jobs, the job B entered first, then D, then A, then C, so that these are all going to be executed in that order, that is B, D, A, C. Next, to come to understand priority scheduling. So priority means it is an integer value assigned to, so please come to understand priority scheduling is the second scheduling algorithm. It is also a non-preemptive algorithm. So what is actually a priority? Actually this algorithm going to work based on a priority value. So in our college, management secretary madam, secretaries are having higher priority, then principal, then HODs, then teaching staff, finally students. Okay, this is a priority hierarchy. Okay, so likewise, when multiple user programs are submitted for execution, OS going to allocate the CPU according to its priority value, So here we have to think one thing, that is turnaround time. So turnaround time means time gap between job submission and job termination, isn't it? So time gap between job submission and job completion. Okay, so that within the turnaround time, the execution time, waiting time, everything included. Okay, so execution time means how much time occupied by CPU and IO devices. So time gap between execution entered and execution termination. But the turnaround time means job time gap between job submission and job termination. So here in turnaround time, CPU time and waiting time included. Next come to understand one thing, that is throughput. So throughput means number of jobs completed per time limit. So within a time limit, more number of jobs must be completed. Okay, so 5 jobs completed, 10 jobs completed, so that if we want to achieve higher throughput means the operating system must select shortest jobs. Okay, shortest job means which job required low execution time. So then only within a short period more number of jobs can be executed, so throughput can be increased, so that the priority value of any user program is estimated by the execution time. So operating system going to estimate the execution time of each user program, so that higher execution program execution time of a user program is higher means it affected the throughput. Okay, so that operating system going to select smallest jobs then highest based on execution, so that priority is the inverse of execution. You must remain always this concept. Priority is the inverse of execution. Priority is inverse of execution means higher execution programs having lower priority and lower execution programs having higher priority. Are you clear? Priority is the inverse of execution time. So lower execution program having higher priority and higher execution higher execution time programs having low priority. So based on priority only higher priority jobs are going to be selected first, so that what are the jobs having low execution time going to be selected first. Okay, so here there is one problem. What problem? If a job is waiting for more time, if a job is waiting for more time means this will be added in turnaround time, so it affected the system performance, so that a priority of one user program may be improved. Improved means a lower priority program can be moved to higher priority program. So this process is called aging. Are you clear? Aging. So if a lower priority program not going to be selected for execution for longest period of time is called starvation. Are you clear? So these are all some technical terms you must know. So starvation means a lower priority program is waiting for longest period of time. Finally it will not going to be selected by the processor, selected by the OS for execution. So this situation is called starvation. So the solution for starvation is aging. So using aging, a lower priority program can be improved to a higher priority program. Okay. Next come to understand. So this is the topic today, shortest remaining time. We discussed already shortest job first. Okay, so shortest job first means which job having low execution time going to be selected for execution. Okay, so when a okay, so shortest job first is a non-preemptive algorithm. So non-preemptive means once a job entered in execution will not going to be interrupted till its execution. But this policy affected the system performance. How? If a program when it is in execution, some higher priority program may be entered. So for your understanding, you are working in a system. Okay, there is only one system. You are means student, one student is working. At that time, head of the department wants to use the computer. So in this situation, automatically the student have to suspend his work, and the computer must be assigned to head of the department, isn't it? Even the student is scheduled when a higher priority person entered, the lower priority work must be suspended, and a higher priority work going to be initiated. Okay, this is the principle of shortest remaining time. Shortest remaining time. So for your understanding, a job is selected, and its execution time is 10 millisecond. Okay, so now it is in execution. Okay, so from 0 second to 3rd second, when this program is in execution, a new job entered and its execution time is only 3 or 5. Are you clear? A new job entered and its execution time is only 5. Currently, one program is in execution and its original execution time is 10, but 3 milliseconds passed, so remaining 7. So these two are going to be compared. So here the currently running program is not a shortest job, the newly entered job is a shortest job. So this is going to be selected first. Okay, this is the principle of shortest remaining time. Okay, so shortest remaining time is the even a program is in execution, actually it is purely a shortest job. So shortest job means even it is in execution, its remaining time must be more shortest, then only it can be continued in execution, otherwise it must be preemptive. Okay, so this is the principle of shortest remaining time. So shortest remaining time, shortly called SRT. So this is a preemptive version of shortest job. Next, CPU allocated to job closest to completion, preemptive if newer job has shortest completion time. Are you clear? So when a program is in execution, even it is selected as a shortest job and it is in execution, its remaining time must always shortest. Otherwise, if a new shortest job comes, the new job going to be executed currently running job going to be preempted. So this principle, this algorithm is often used in batch environment. So cannot implemented in interactive system. So next involves more overhead than SJN. Okay, what overhead? It must, so OS must estimate the remaining time of currently running program and the execution time of newly entered job. Okay, and these two are going to be compared. Okay, so here there is one problem. Once comparison over, the currently running program and its execution time may be come to low. Okay, these are all some problems. So the shortest remaining time algorithm is clearly explained in this diagram. So come to understand, okay, so go through this slide for your better understanding.